Welcome in, everyone. The number one women's wrestling coach out in Texas, Jason Norwood, and his daughter, Avi Norwood. This is season 2, episode 10, and I'm excited. I'm going to fumble words. Y'all know what, we're 3 years in. Maybe I've made a mistake here and there, but I'm excited about today. So it's going to be a lot of smiles, but y'all know how we do here. We got James Quick, the gentleman brawler. Y'all need to go back to the archives. We done had your man on. Matter of fact, this is, I think, his second time back, but it won't be the last. And in the top right, we have Louise Jewett. That you ain't got to go too far back in the archives for her. The very first recruit for the very first HBCU wrestling team, and she's in her freshman year. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Coach Jason Righteous Norwood we're going to start with a few things. I'm excited because we're gonna have a little athlete, parent / coach, and I think this is going to be a powerful story. It'll have a strong mix of the journey, the mindset, women's wrestling, family dynamics, pressure, and James and I have had plenty of talks about that, and future goals. All are going to spark real conversations off of this, so kind of excited. Hey, Coach, what's the sound like for Avi? I got a few things that I wanted to ask her. Can I start with hers alphabetically, Coach?
Sure. No, you want to talk with Avi or with me?
Avi first.
Avi's sleeping. She got a match tomorrow, so she's got to be in the back. I got her down.
Nope. That's what she should be doing. Coach,
That's important.
Yeah, yes, it is. Coach, women's high school wrestling, what's it been like being part of the growth of girls wrestling?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. You couldn't be. I couldn't be happier to be a part of something like this. It's just awesome. Men's wrestling is the number one sport in the United States, most certainly in the state of Texas. We're doing awesome things. We're so lucky to have the athletes coming to the state like we have. It's just been great. I'm all smiles.
I got this one is for you, Louise. What challenges do female wrestlers still face today?
I think a challenge that female wrestlers still face today is really underestimation on other people's points. I think that they think about women's wrestling and sometimes they see like newer wrestling and they think about it being a newer sport and they think that girls haven't been doing it for a long time and that everybody's new. And now that it's blooming, they think, oh, well, there's only a few good. And it's like, why are you underestimating us? Some of us have been doing this our whole lives. Not me, but some. And I think that it's it's something that people should like definitely pipe in on, I guess. Like, don't underestimate us.
But James, you've been wrestling for a long time. James is a new dad, everybody. So when you have kids, it's like you always are older. But old guy named James. When you first started wrestling, how often would you say you came across women wrestlers at tournaments? What was it like back in your day?
I mean, when I was starting wrestling, especially in the youth wrestling space, girls weren't super common, but they were present. Like my second or third year wrestling, my youngest brother Shane had wrestled and he got tore to pieces by a girl at like so I would have been 9 or 10 and that would have put him at like 6 or 7. So there were absolutely girls wrestling rarely, but they were there. And then when I was in high school in not in Illinois, I didn't see any women wrestling in the like high school wrestling space. But when I moved to California in 2003 or in 2004, I was part of helping one of my friends become the first girl wrestler on our wrestling team. Our coach hadn't wanted to do it. And I had to kind of advocate and be like, hey, title, I forget if it's Title 9 or Title 10, but if you don't have a women's team, you've got to let women go out for the sport. And she participated in the team. She trained with us. She outworked plenty of the dudes on the team. And then my little brother was a 103-pounder, Tim, 1 year younger than me. And at the 103-pound, one of the teams that we wrestled with at CIF level, which was kind of like the regionals equivalent for other states.
Yeah.
There was a girl wrestler in the 103 class, and she had made her way past that first kind of qualification level at the conference level to the CIF level. So she was competing.
Oh.
I did think it was messed up because she was also the homecoming queen. That the wrestler. So when she got knocked out of the tournament, the coach or someone had her be one of the like medal girls to give medals out after she had been competing in the tournament. And I remember even then being like, this seems messed up.
Yeah.
This seems like not not a way that we should be treating any of our competitors, whether they medal or don't medal.
Coach, I want to come back to you. You hear what Jake said. How has the culture around women's wrestling changed, even in just the last few years?
Okay, so I got to go back because I graduated high school in 2002, and I had a girl that wrestled in my weight class. Her first name was Lee, and I had a crush on Lee when I was a senior. She was a junior. I wrestled this must have been when I was a sophomore actually. And she was a junior, she was a year ahead of me. Back then they gave the girls 10% of your weight class. So I wrestled 140, she weighed 154. At least that was her weight class. I don't know what she actually weighed. But she was in my weight class in New Jersey. That's how they tried to even it out, was they gave you 10% of your weight class. And Lee was good. Lee was no slouch. I wrestled Lee. I beat her because I was good, but she was no slouch. And I kind of had a crush on her, to tell the truth. She was real physical. She had curly hair. I remember vividly. Yeah, Lee was no slouch.
You can't wrestle somebody you got a crush on. Your mind is everywhere else.
I would say I should have pinned her in the beginning, and that did not happen.
So you were distracted.
Oh, incredibly.
That's cool.
Incredibly. I mean, I should say I should have pinned her. Like, I'm acting like she didn't have any say in it. She did. But she was good, and she was strong, and she was cute, and yeah, she had it going on. But that's when I was a sophomore in high school. There were actually two girls in our district that were good, I should say. There may have been more than two, but there was two that I remember. They were standouts. They wrestled. They were standouts. They were really good.
Coach, what advice would you give a young girl who's thinking about trying wrestling but feels nervous?
I mean, overtly try it. But it's so much bigger than just wrestling for girls. Because, and granted, I'm not a girl, so this is just my opinion. But with my two daughters, wrestling is all about confidence. Like, Jade wants around like you can't touch her. And that in partly is true because she's wrestled all her life. So you really can't touch her. You know what I mean? Like boys her age and size, she fucks up regularly. Excuse my French, but that's just what she does. And she's good at it. And you got to feel some kind of way when you can make a boy, when you can take a boy down. You feel some kind of way about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you should.
Luis, for those who might have missed your episode, great episode, everybody. I'm not talking about my podcast. I'm talking about the person I had on. Y'all need to get your game up. Find out about Luis. I hope she shows or I see her on my screen. Luis, what advice would you give a young girl who's thinking about trying wrestling but feels nervous? Because you were not a lifer like his daughter Jade. You were late to the game. Could you explain that to everybody right quick and then answer the question? How late?
Okay. He said I was late to the game. Basically, I started wrestling my freshman year of high school. I started because my sister told me to. Crazy story, but it's funny actually. What I think is that if I started in high school, that means I've been wrestling for 5 years, counting my freshman year in college. So definitely not a full lifer. But what I would say to anybody who's wanting to try wrestling, I say go for it. I've always told people to go for it, even if they weren't sure if they'd be good at it, because you never know. And on top of that, like, what do they say? Rome wasn't built in a day. So I was like, I didn't start off good. I didn't start off okay. I was shaky, very. But I stayed and stuck around, even though I didn't know what I was doing most of the time. And I also didn't know the rules for a good minute. But I was just like, gotta go.
You didn't try the Cobra Clutch or the Figure Four? You didn't try WWE stuff, did you?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Okay, I just joined wrestling straight off of wrestling. Like, I had never seen, I'd heard of, like, John Cena and stuff. But I don't watch WWE or anything like that. I was kind of just a go-for-it kid. I did, like, every sport under the sun. So I was like, well, I might as well go over there and see what they're about. And I was like, wait, low-key, I'm kind of cooking. Hold on. Let me try to work this out. And then I was like, wait, I could low-key do something here, because I was in gymnastics, and then I had quit gymnastics, and then I was in cheerleading, and I was cheering while doing wrestling. Then I realized that I was low-key better at wrestling than cheer, and I was like, okay, maybe I should just go over there. Like, I was good at cheer, but I was like, I got potential, and I was like, I wouldn't have known that if I didn't try it. So you should try things you've never done before, because you could become like me and maybe be able to pick up a little quicker and be able to find interest in something that will carry you through life. You also get to meet a lot of cool people when you wrestle. Like, they could be from your school, out of your school. If you try off season, you can meet a lot more people than in person. I know a lot of people just simply from competing and wrestling them. Like, they're my opponents, but we still keep in contact because it was a good match. Like, we're like, yeah. So I think that's like something that people tend to don't think about when they're like, oh, I don't know if I would be good at it. Like, you don't have to be good at something to do it. There's a lot of people in this world that aren't good at what they're doing, but they're doing it. And they could get better. Have you seen artists? Like, some people are not very good artists when they start, and then they just keep at it, and suddenly they're like able to draw anything and everything under the sun.
Masterpiece.
So, like,
I want to go to James, but I want to say something about this. I'd like to pick on you for being a cheerleader, but I won't, because I'm coming to your duel, and I don't want to have to see you face to face. And then the second thing is, one of the best girls and coaches, aside from his two daughters, which is so cool because I don't want to have to rank the best girls in his club, but one of his best girls in his club was an amazing gymnast, and now she's crushing the game. And she was in band, so she's like, you want to say band nerd? I wouldn't say that to her face. So it's something about gymnasts that come over to wrestling. I want to circle back on that. But James, let's get this question. What was that?
I said, what you got against band people, sir?
I was about to. I know you're back. I pulled that one back. I did. That one popped in my head. I gotta watch what I say. See, normally I could throw stuff at people. You know, I'm weighing 240 nowadays. I could do that. But with you three, I've been watching what I'm saying right now. I've been watching what I'm saying. But so James, I know you tell your story. Jay, for those who don't know, if you didn't see the episode, James was a cage fighter. He's done mixed martial arts. I'm sorry, I don't want to pigeonhole you if you don't like that title, but he's done that real stuff. And I know people will ask you stuff about it, and you'll probably give them, some of my background is wrestling. So if there's a young lady, James, and you probably come across some people, if there's a young lady and she's like, what should I get my daughter into wrestling? What would you say? Because the question was, if a young girl who's thinking about trying to wrestling but feels nervous, what would you say, James?
I mean, I'm gonna sound like a broken record for these other two, which is go for it. Luis's experience, I've taught folks with dance and gymnastics backgrounds, wrestling and jiu-jitsu and martial arts, and every time they turn into monsters. It's like the dynamic strength and the proprioception and the coordination and all of that. Like if you have those things from dance and gymnastics and timing and any level of aggression and fuck you, I'm going to win. Yeah. You're going to turn into a monster. Just like the attributes you build up from those things combined with that like internal decision that it's going to be the way I need it to be. It's a tough thing to deal with. Folks become problems real quick. And one of the things that to Luis's point, one of the things that I said when I was running a middle school wrestling program, because I had kids ask me like, oh, what are tryouts like? What are you going to do? And I said, I don't have to cut kids from wrestling. The kids who get it are going to stay, and the kids who don't are going to drop out from the training. And it's not because I'm hazing them, and it's not because I'm trying to push them out. It's because I strongly agree with Luis. Doing something, you don't have to be the best at something to do it. Unfortunately, wrestling particularly in a scholastic context always involves some level of competition, and it does suck to wrestle if you're bad at it. Wrestling and losing over and over is a miserable process, especially if you're doing someone who's got like a grindy. I always said I didn't want to pin you. I wanted to beat you so bad that you wanted me to pin you.
That's horrible. Oh my gosh, that's a bad day at the office.
We're in the misery.
Put me out of my misery, James. I thought you were the gentleman brawler.
Yeah, and I'm going to kindly and respectfully make you as miserable as possible so that you give me the pin, you give me the submission, you give me the knockout. Like, that's just what it's going to be. Which kind of goes back to the like, so go out and try for it. You'll find out pretty quickly whether it's a thing that you want to stick with or not. And also to what Luis was saying, especially when I was growing up in Illinois in my first school, I struggled socially in my school. I ended up making more friends with kids from other wrestling teams than I did in my own like town.
Oh, I see that.
You can build some really solid connection because there's nothing that builds up trust as much as like, hey, we just did our best to beat the crap out of each other. And then one of us got our hand raised. The other of us showed respect. And now we've got a bond that no one else understands.
I really thought of it like that. I like that. This guy. I don't bring no scrubs on this podcast.
I liked how he like related it to like sometimes you don't have to like be wanting to be the best, because I know that it reminded me of what like they used to say. They were like, some of us are here for different reasons. Like you don't always have to wrestle to try to be like, oh, I want to go to the Olympics. Like, yes, it's a competitive sport, yes, but some people do it because I just wanted to try it, or I wanted to try something new. They think it's something in their life that they like feel compelled to try. And some people also do it because, oh, I heard that they do like weight management here. Maybe I have health issues and I need to be able to do something with my weight and make sure I stay at a certain level. Some people are like, I feel like I'm not the strongest, so I'll try something tough to try to build myself. Like, I always hear people say wrestling builds character, but like right in this moment, like after hearing all of us speak, wrestling builds character, and it just it changes once you get there, and once you're able to like calmly like ingest like wrestling and competing and being with friends and enjoying the time. Like, you're like, wow, I've changed a lot. I know, like, my friends, there was this one girl, she came like her senior year to wrestling. She came her junior year, and she was like, I wish I came earlier because I've changed so much in this last year, like mentally and physically. Like, I feel like in shape. Like, this is the first time. And she was like, I never had competed in a sport. I've never done a sport ever. And she was like, and I didn't think that I would stay here long, but I just tried it. And you guys, like, our teammates will hype each other up, keep each other on top. Like, it's just the accountability in the room. Like, if you want to be there, you're going to be there. If you don't, you won't. Like, they're not going to hold you. Stay with us, please. Stay with us. We'll find someone. They'll come eventually. Like, it's like you have to want to do it.
Yes.
And you have to find it in yourself. Why am I here?
Coach, what do you want people to understand about women who wrestle that they often get wrong? I bet you get a lot of that because of your daughters. Maybe they unintentionally offend you or say something stupid. But what do you want people to understand about women who wrestle that they often get wrong?
So first, you don't have to be like super manly to wrestle. I have plenty of very feminine women on my team that wrestle, and they're great. You don't have to be I can't think of the She-Hulk or whatever to wrestle. That's not a requirement. That's number one. Number two, and I forgot to say this the first time, is Mike Tyson had a first day. So we got to take into consideration the fact that you don't have to be, like Lee said, you don't have to be the best thing since sliced bread on day one. No one is, And so that's the other thing I want people to realize about, people think, oh, well, you have an aptitude for it. Well, the reality is that you're right, particularly about Kaylin. She was a gymnast. And so she has strength and proprioception. And she has all that stuff going for her, which makes her a great wrestler. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Kaylin's awesome. Her dad is a 5-time national champ judoka. So you could argue it's in her blood. But if you saw Caitlin, you would not actually assume wrestling. Caitlin is a band nerd, and she says that about herself all the time. Caitlin's going to go to college to do music therapy. You know what I mean? Like, she's a different kind of kid. So you can't pigeonhole somebody who's going to wrestle. You just can't do that. You can't. You can't pigeonhole girl wrestlers. You can't pigeonhole boy wrestlers. I mean, I'm the biggest nerd in the planet, and I fought for Bellator. You know what I mean? I knock people out on stage for a living. I trained at the Olympic Training Center. I'm a nerd. I'm a Star Wars geek. You know what I mean? If I'm not watching wrestling videos, I'm watching documentaries. I don't want anybody to assume anything about what it takes to be a good wrestler or what it takes to be a wrestler in general. You can miss me with that bullshit. I don't want to hear that. You miss me entirely. I detest talk about people that assume what is going to make me a wrestler. I just dealt with a parent who was like, well, my kid's going to be great because, he looks like he looks like what? Your kid don't train. He's going to be terrible. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Coach, right now your team is number one, and your daughter is on that
Yes.
team. I want to talk a little bit about that
Yes.
father-daughter coach athlete dynamic.
Oh God.
I know.
Oh, God.
I can't wait for this. What's the hardest part about separating dad from coach? I need to know.
So I'm never not dad. I'm never not dad. I can't ever not be her father.
Right?
That's first and foremost. I'm never not dad.
Coach, hold on. When it's time for that smoke session, y'all in practice and everybody's messing up, nobody paid attention. You said anybody got questions and no one raised their hand, but no one's doing the move right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's smoke that girl up. You talking about feel bad for her as a dad?
I'm still her dad. I'm gonna put her through a ringer, but I'm still her dad. I did that today.
Oh, so there's some smoke session like fresh in your repertoire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm never not dad. I'm still her dad. You know what I mean? I'm just not. How do I put it? It's first of all, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. It is the most nerve-wracking thing. I'll go back to Iraq again and get shot at before I would want to coach my kids.
Wow.
Not because it is a rewarding, but it is the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life. By far. I would really, I just wouldn't wish this on anybody. Because my children are the best of me by far. And so I want the best for them, but I can't fight their battles. And as much as wrestling has taught my children, it's taught me twice as much, because it taught me as an athlete and it's taught me as a coach. It's taught me how to prepare. It's teaching me how to let go, because at some point I'm going to have to let go of my daughters. And the thought of it brings me to tears now. It's the scariest thing I can ever think of. I don't have sons. I'm pretty sure if I had sons, you turn 18 as a son, get out of my house, go do something. I have daughters. You know what I mean? You can stay home as long as you want, baby. I don't care. And so I never would have learned how to let them go, how to have faith in what I'm doing with them now so that they can be successful in the future. Never would have done it without this sport. Would have never happened.
Coach, how do you handle disagreements when they happen between you and her? You're telling her to leg ride, and she says, "Nah, man, I think I can do this, Dad." And you're like, "Well, hold on." How do you handle those disagreements?
That almost to a T happened in reverse. She wanted to leg ride. I told her not to.
But as a leg rider, once I figured that out, that's all I wanted to do. Is a real shiny toy.
So she's not where she's
there. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair, because once I figured out leg riding, I was the same. But I don't know. The disagreements have to happen as a coach, not as a father, because I have to reprimand her as a coach. But right afterwards, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where I'm almost like a schizophrenic, because I'm gonna reprimand her. We're gonna go through hell. I'm gonna make you hurt, and then right afterwards, it's gonna be okay. I got you, baby. We're gonna make you feel better. I'm sure she thinks I'm bipolar. I'm certain. Yeah, there's no other way to describe it. It's crazy. But again, like I said, I kind of wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, because it takes so much out of me to be a dad and a coach simultaneously.
Coach, I want you to be bipolar right now. Part of you is Avy, and part of you is Jason Righteous Norwood. Answer for Avy first.
Okay.
Avy, what's something each of you has learned from the other through wrestling? So, Coach, what do you think she's learned from you through wrestling?
I actually know what she was saying to that. Funny enough, just driving perseverance. Driving perseverance is what she's learned. To come back harder each time. When you get set back, you don't fall back. When you get set back, you don't fall back.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's what she's learned from me from wrestling. From wrestling and from fighting, she's seen me do it, and I kind of like pushed it on her. She's gonna have to figure that aspect out, I should say. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So then, Coach, what have you learned about wrestling? What have you learned from her through wrestling?
To trust. I'm a micromanager by trade, and I always have to fight that urge. So I have to trust her to an extent, like for example, this is a bad example because she lost the match. She lost the match to a girl who she should be ranked higher than, but she hasn't beaten this girl yet. And this girl always finds a way to pin her in the end, but she always is beating this girl when it happens. But she did a throw the last time they wrestled, right? And I saw the throw coming, and I was scared. I was terrified. But I have to trust her.
Yeah.
I have to trust her.
Okay.
So I did.
You took me down a path there. I want to go. I want to go to pressure, expectations, and balance. Because James and I have had that conversation a lot. And I want to start with you, James. How do you deal with pressure that comes from being such a successful wrestler? I mean, you had success. That's part of the reason why you kept with it. You went on to the cage fighting world. But how do you deal with pressure that comes from successes?
Well, so one of the biggest risks with having success is that you get complacent. And how like the biggest check for me in complacence was trying to get myself in a room with people who would push me where, hey, yeah, I'm having successes. I'm beating whoever I'm competing with, but each of these people in the room with me are kicking my ass. Because if you don't have that, then you've got to find some way to create that pressure within yourself to achieve.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it gets real easy to be like, I could do that one extra rep. I could do that one other drill that closes up a gap that I know I have, but I don't need to. I can get by without it. And so finding that way, that drive of like, what's the next thing I can climb? What's the next person that I can chase down and beat who I haven't? Who's that person in the gym who creates a problem for me that I can't solve? I've got to start finding those, in the same way that if I'm starting out and I'm not great, I've got to find what the smaller win that I can get is. Okay, This person beats my ass every practice, but this practice, they're not going to pin me. They might take me down. They might reverse me. They might get my back, but they're not going to pin me this practice. In the same way, once I'm winning, I've got to once I'm doing well, I've got to find ways to create new challenges for myself if they're not there in the gym. Hey, this person doesn't really have anything for me, so what moves don't work for me usually? Can I make them work on this person? Hey, what's this thing that I'm trying? Can I make it work on this? How deep can I let them get on something before I have to escape it? I've got to create new challenges for myself.
Luis, we talked about your point in history as the first recruit at the first HBCU women's wrestling team. How do you deal with the pressure that comes with being that girl?
I actually just don't really be feeling pressured at all.
Oh.
I just kind of go through life with it is what it is kind of look about things, because the moment you start to make yourself feel more pressured, like I admit now I don't feel pressured about anything, but at first I didn't really realize what happened until like an article came out and they were like, Luis Stewart is signed, da 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 da, first nation's first HBCU. I was like, oh, okay. I was so excited. I was like, yes, yes. And I was like, wait, what
Luis,
does
I
that
need you to
mean?
call my daughter right now and tell her that. Wake her butt up. Wake her butt up.
Yeah, we may have to get those digits to Luis. Then we might have to do that for you, Coach.
I got you. I got you. I just kind of like, because I know that I did a lot of stuff like over the span of the years. Like I just treated every tournament, every match like it was no big deal. Like I'm like, it's important to me, yes, but it's just a match. I've done like 50 other matches. Why is it any different? I was like, is it because of this other human who's also human? We're both human. Like, I was like, yes, they may have beat me before, but anybody can be beaten. Anybody's, like I said, every time you step on the mat, it's 50-50. And I've said that to so many people over the time because they always ask me, they're like, how do you deal with them? Every time I step on the mat, it's 50-50. I don't know what y'all think it is, but anybody can be beaten. Anybody can trip, slip, fall, get sat on. Like, it's like, I don't think too much about the pressure. I think of it as an opportunity. I'm like, okay, I'm in the finals. Let's go. This opportunity. Let's go. Like, I listen to music. I kind of just try to do something to like not focus on the fact that I could always like I choose another route, to be honest, when I think about the pressures of being like, oh, nation's first recruit. At first when I started wrestling, I realized that I was starting to like weigh myself down because I was, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta be the best, I gotta da da da. I'm like, yes, I want to be the best, but I need to make sure that I'm being the best like to myself first. I said I gotta make sure I'm okay before I try to worry about what everybody else is trying to make me feel.
I'm glad you're learning that now, Luis, because understanding the difference between the pressure to do the best I have that day versus do your best, meaning the best that I've ever. I was like in my 30s before I realized to make that distinction. And I had burnt myself out like 3 different times. So good. Keep that mentality. I love what I'm hearing from you. As a competitor, as a coach, and as someone who's about to like graduate and be a therapist.
I was like, this doesn't feel like me most of the time. If I felt myself getting anxious or something, I'm like, I'm not here to just like, I was like, I treated everything like it was normal. Like I was at state. And I was like, I remember freshman year, I didn't understand the importance of state at all. It was my first year wrestling. So I had just qualified and I was like, and my coach just go have fun. I mean, to be honest, all I knew how to do was fall, go behind, and pray. I was like, okay. And I would go out there, hit my little blast double here and there. It worked sometimes. It didn't work some other times. But I remember the feeling like of just not knowing what was going on and just going out and wrestling. And I was like, that's something that I think I want to keep with me. Just being ready to go against whoever, because it was my first year and I knew the girls I was wrestling had been wrestling longer than me, or they had a history, or they knew more than me. I mean, some of those girls were really out there like tussling. And I was like, well, it is what it is. I got to go. And I was like, but I'm excited because I love wrestling good people. I love wrestling like people who give me a challenge. I love the challenge. I'm like, okay. Like if I lost to them and I got to wrestle them again, I'd be like, let's see what I improved on. I'm about to hit everything on you. And it's like, what did they block? What did they not? Weren't they able to block this time? Like, let's see. And I think my opponents hated that because I never, every match was like, like you're going to have to work. If you're getting something out of me, if you're winning, you're going to have to work for that win. And they were like, why is this girl so like, why does she keep going and going and going? Like, I remember one time, it was actually my sophomore year, Wonder Woman finals. I had got pinned by this girl. in like 30 seconds. It was embarrassing. Spotlight was on. I got firemen. All I could do was bridge for dear life. She like scooped my head up. She had been wrestling for so long. Actually, like she had been wrestling all of her life since she was like, I heard it was like since she was like 2, I don't know. But it was so embarrassing. And I was like, dang, you got to take your wins with class, got to take your losses with class, everything. But I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. We would meet again the next week. We went, 3 periods. She won by points, but I scored at least like 3 times. So I was like, it was my second year wrestling. I was like, and this girl at the time, she was ranked first in the nation.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going. And I was like, if she's not getting an easy pin off of me, no, I refuse. And then I was like, oh, you're going to have to work, girl. You're going to have to work. And it was just like that mindset, I think. So like, I know I'm a bit weird from other people because I like the challenge. And I like to think that most wrestlers do like the challenge. But I'm saying like, it was different. It was like, oh, I went out and had fun. Like some people think of it as pressure and they say, oh, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh no, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Like, oh, these jitters, I'm not nervous. I'm excited. Let's go. And then it's like, okay, how does that translate over to college? I'm like, I knew this was a new place for me. I didn't know what college would look like. I'd never been to college. I mean, I did the U.S. Open. That's not the same. I was like, but I get here and I'm like, this looks normal. Then I'm wrestling. I was like, I see all these people that I've seen at nationals. I'm like, so it's like nationals every other weekend. And they were like, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, yeah, okay. Well, if I can do nationals once, I can do it again. If I can do nationals twice, I can do it again. Yeah. Done it several times. I was like, this is no different than what I've been training myself for the whole time.
Yeah.
And also like the anxious and the being like nervous and the pressure. It doesn't feel like pressure when you're prepared and confident in yourself. Like if you work hard in the wrestling room, it starts to show in your mind because you start to get that I'm unbeatable kind of feeling. Like it's like, no, you know that there's always going to be someone better than you. Like every person who's competed at the best level knows that maybe there's somebody out there that can take them down unless you're Olympic gold medalist, and then you got that. But like everybody we know, like there's always somebody in this world that's gonna catch you or something like that every now and then. But I'm like, yo, I practice hard. Nobody practiced harder than me. You can't beat me. So yeah. I'm not worried. But that mindset, I mean, that's a good mindset. Yes. Not all the time do I have that because everybody has their faults, but you just got to be able to like be able to reset yourself when you're falling off, I think. And like for me, the pressure, I don't know, it never comes because I kind of just go away. I'm good. I'm doing what I need to do. I've been paying attention and I've been doing my classwork. Like I try to like lessen the pressure by doing things that I know, like if I have homework or something, I'll do all of that. So it's not even on my mind when I'm wrestling. I'll be like, that's one thing done. I'm productive. So that's another pressure gone. I'm like, oh, I just did good at practice. I gave my all. I bet my opponent's slacking off right now. That's another pressure. I'm like, it's like, I'll just keep like, I'm like, okay, let's go. And I just keep like hyping myself up. I don't know. And I do it for my teammates too, though. Like they'll tell you, they'll be like, oh, that wasn't good. I was like, oh, you just have to fix one thing or two. It's not that bad. It's the small things really if you feel like it's different. And then I'm like, and plus that looked really nice. Like, you know, besides the fact when you stop. But it was like, that looked nice. And then it's like, you just got to keep like that energy around you, I guess. Like, don't be an energy vampire. Be confident. Like, don't let the moment take away from you. Like when I stepped onto the mat for the first time, I remember I saw this giant arena and I was like, all these people gonna see me? I don't know about that, coach. I was like, because, you know, tournaments be tiny. Sometimes they be having like little bleachers and a couple grandparents, a couple moms. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of people. Oh, no. But then I was like, wait, I got here and people want to see this? that means I'm doing something right. Like, and then I'm like, okay, well, I keep doing what I've been doing from the get-go. I'll go behind, and I just listen to my coaches, and I'm like, I have confidence that my coaches are going to coach me right. I have confidence that I'm going to compete to the best of my capabilities. And you can't fail yourself if you've given your all.
Well said.
I was like, the only time you walk off the mat defeated is when you haven't learned something or you have not given your all. And I mean, every time I step off the mat, good luck. You can't tell me I lost. Yeah.
Man, there was so much good in that. You're constantly celebrating little wins. You're constantly identifying opportunities to learn and grow. Sometimes I call the mentality sometimes battle goldfish. Like, just show up ready to give it, forget about the losses, show up, try again, make a different mistake. And the like constantly setting yourself up for doing the little things, the baby steps to constantly set yourself up for success, and taking that moment to celebrate that you've done that, to note and go be like, yeah, I did that thing. I celebrate it. That's, man, such good stuff all the way down.
Yeah, Louise. Yeah, Louise. Coach, I wanted to go to you last on this, but it's the same question. Now that you're number one, when we scheduled this, you were number two. Again, props, Coach. But how do you deal with the pressure that comes with being ranked so high?
Looks like you're still muted.
Yeah.
There we go. Is that better? That better? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, it's not me. My ranking, I didn't do. My girls did that. So I know there's a target on my back, on our backs. So my job is to have a back big enough to take that target away from them. Because I'm the coach, right? All the bad stuff needs to happen to me. All the good stuff needs to happen to them. So, my thought in all of this comes actually from my MMA coach. My MMA coach, if I won a match, he would not come in the cage after the fight with me. He would stay out of the cage, because if I won, I won. If I lost, he would be in there with me, because we lost as a team. And so, I am the pressure for me about being number one really doesn't exist. The pressure for me as a coach is, did I prepare them? Did I do my job so that they can do their job? Did I, what because there's only a certain number of hours you have in a day. Did I focus on the right things for enough time? And not just for one girl, but for all girls, because all my girls are different. I've got a girl on my team who's incredibly flexible, right? So I want to show her things. Now she lends herself to things that aren't necessarily flexibility moves, you know what I mean? But I want her to do things like ankle picks and stuff like that, because she's kind of long for her weight, and I think that so I'm constantly thinking I didn't do enough ankle picks, you know what I mean, to try and get her ready, because we stay with we're constantly doing doubles and singles, and so then I feel like, okay, well I've got to do right by her. I got to go back to that, right? And then we have girls who have trouble getting off on bottom, and some who don't. So I feel like when I'm focusing on bottom work, the girls who get up from bottom, they're not getting anything out of this, right? So that's really where my stress is as a coach. My stress is trying to make sure that I've done right by my team, because I'll tell you, with a girls team, there's a reason I'm taking my girls team up to this tournament, and I didn't send my assistant coach with my girls, right? Girls are awesome. Girls are tough. In high school, girls are tougher than boys. No questions asked. If a female athlete in high school trusts you as their coach, they'll run through a brick wall for you. So my only fear, my only worry is ever did I do right by them. That's the only thing I'm ever worried about. Now, I will tell you this. I'm consistently worried about it. But, I just facilitate. I'm a coach. I just facilitate. The greatness is from them. I'm fortunate. I'm lucky that I have all these girls together with me that are willing to work hard in the room every day and smile through it. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed by it. It's just, I'm, I feel a special kind of way. So I feel incredibly nervous before matches and I don't sleep. And my reason for not sleeping is because I'm worried about what they're gonna do. It's because I'm worried about what did I do. Because I'm convinced that every single loss that my athletes have had is my fault. Every win that they've had, they've done on their own.
Coach, you jumped to this next question I was going to ask you, but I want to make sure I lay it out, and you may have the same answer to what a little bit of what you just said. How do you balance school, training, social life, and rest? How are you getting all that in?
What is balance? I don't know what the hell that word means. I'll be frank with you.
Let me. You're a high school coach. Let me help you out. Balance is 6'7". They're not always.
Oh my God! I wish I could put you in the throat. I really do. I really wish I was close to you right now.
I thought you'd have that reaction.
Oh God! Yeah. No, I don't balance anything, and I don't balance it intentionally. Because I have kids that are going out on the mat and doing a sport where they can hurt themselves. They deserve for me to not balance anything. They deserve 120%. That's what they're going to get. They're going to get me searching stuff late at night and not sleeping. They deserve that. They all deserve that. They're going to get me writing a practice out and then rewriting it twice. I'm not balanced. That's not balanced, but they deserve it. They're going to get me worried about, researching their opponents to see, what it is that they have, what it is they're good at, what they're not good at. They deserve it. There is no balance there because they're risking a lot for the team, And as much as I may represent the team, again, that accolade isn't mine. That accolade belongs to them. I'm not gonna be balanced in how I address them. I'm gonna give it everything that I can because my greatest fear is not living up to what they deserve. That's my greatest fear in this coaching.
I want to ask Luis and James this next part. Jay comes first alphabetically. James, what does wrestling mean to you now? I told everybody you just had a kid, you're a new father. Congrats, homie. It looks good on you. So at this point in your life, and when we look back at it, what does wrestling mean to you now?
I mean, it's a lot of the stuff that Louisa talked about in all that stuff where I was like, no, that's the mentality. That's the stuff. It's the willingness to show up, to give the best I got that day, to learn whatever lesson I need to learn, to do the hard thing, knowing that it's hard, to know that, like, to recognize what's a person being a blowhard in my face and what's a person actually being a threat. Like, at the end of the day, I've been knocked unconscious in front of a crowd of hundreds or 1,000 people. Not anything on the Bellator scale, but, is one of the most, like, I've been knocked, the worst has happened, right?
Yeah.
I've been shot at. I've lost in ways that are frustrating and infuriating and embarrassing. what do I have left to lose? Well, the answer is right now, the well-being of my son, the well-being of my wife. Those, like, my priorities have shifted a little bit, but my ability to build my life around what my priorities are was built in wrestling. Like, knowing that I have to keep my grades at the level I want them to while I'm also cutting weight. I'm going to make weight because I'm not going to show up and not be able to wrestle and not represent my team and not do my best, because, like, that's not negotiable. But also that grade that's not negotiable either. So you figure out a way to do the two really hard things at the same time.
Luis, I want to ask you that. It's, what does wrestling mean to you now? I mean, from where you started, you told us you started late, so you've only been in it for 5 years, but something tells me you might feel different or you might feel the same. What's it feel to you? What does it feel like now?
Right now, wrestling is like, it's something I enjoy doing. It's like something I choose to do. It's the challenge I give myself. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it in a way, but I never really knew. When people always ask me, like, I'm still not going to front and act like I know exactly what wrestling is to me, because I'm still relatively, like, still learning. I know I know I'm still learning. I don't know everything. And I almost said I knew everything.
I'm gonna edit it out because Coach would be like, "Hey, go edit that out." I know she ain't mean that.
I was like, yeah, I know I still don't know everything. I know I still am working on things mentally and physically. So I'm like, when people ask me what does wrestling mean to me, I mean, in the beginning, I never really knew. I just did it. I mean, I don't understand how I did it without really, like, knowing exactly what I wanted to do. I was kind of goal oriented. Like, they were like, State, you want to be on that board? I was like, oh, I'm gonna be on that board. They were like, okay, love that confidence. Yeah, I was like, it's not confidence. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be up there, one of them. And then I was up there. I was like, it's just, I set my sights on it. And I'm like, it's the goal. I want it. It's gonna be mine. And then I'm like, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out, like, what it means to me, like, deeply, because I know that I used it as an anchor during hard times. Like in high school, I was very swamped down. I did a lot of college classes, a lot of APs. I mean, I was going through it with, like, I kept my grades, of course, academic, hello. But
Yeah.
I was just like, I would use wrestling as an escape, basically, from, like, if I'm having issues, I'm feeling upset, I would be like, okay, well, we're wrestling now, so suck it up, move on, or figure it out. But you need to be able to wrestle and sort through your situation. I would explain to coach, oh, I have a test this day, so I'm kind of thinking about it, like, or something was bothering me. They would always ask and check up on me. It was like the place where people would, like, come together. So I guess wrestling, to me, it was family in high school. It was anchor. It was calm. It was somewhere that I knew what was gonna go on. I knew what I was signing up for. It's like, I don't know what I'm trying to find the word. Oh my gosh, I know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's something that is, like, not changing, something that you know what they're expecting from you, you know what you want from you, and you don't have to deal with, like, outliers or, like, the pressure. Like, it's not different. It doesn't change. Like with academics, suddenly you have to write an essay and it has to be the best essay you've ever written. It's not something that's going to, like, flip on you. Like, wrestling
Like
is solid. Yes, it's like the center. I was like, okay, well, at least I have wrestling. I'm like, I'm like, oh man, this essay is absolutely terrible. But I have
Wrestling grounds you. It grounds you. It grounds a lot of people. It grounds me.
I was like, yeah, I think that wrestling
1,000%.
kept me where I needed to be. It kept me level-headed, because I feel like if I hadn't done wrestling, I don't know where I would be. I mean, I know I would be doing academic things, but I don't know how I would be able to achieve my goals and dreams without wrestling now. Like wrestling to me has given me a great opportunity. So it's wrestling. It kind of, I guess to me, it like saved me. If that's what wrestling means to me, it's like I wasn't going down like a whole rabbit hole or anything, but mentally, I know that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself academically, and I would do so many different things. I did all these different like extracurriculars because I was trying to find the one that I would be like, help me, like, can I do this? Like, and I did so many things, and I was good at them. I was decent at them, but I was like, this is actually making me stressed. This is a little more irritating. Like it was like, oh, but it was like a relief to finally get to just physically just go and do what I need to do, have some rules, like control, I guess. I was able to control what happened in my matches. And it didn't depend on like smartness or what you learned in class or remember what you learned in class or the stress of like, oh, needing a calculator or something like that. Like, I don't know, wrestling just gave me an escape from like academics, I guess. Like I still thought while wrestling, like thinking about wrestling, obviously, I mean, you're not thinking what's going on, but I was like, but I didn't have to like go through the difficulties. So like wrestling grounded me, and to this day it still grounds me, because even though I'm like, oh man, I'm sore from practice, but at least I get to practice, you know. I'm like, yeah. And then it's like, oh man, practice day was brutal. They had to go through conditioning. I was like, I don't like conditioning, but it's okay because, you know, I got to condition. Like I'm capable of conditioning. Mm-hmm. It was always like something that I tried to turn into a positive, because it's like, this is my escape. Then why would I? Like I was like, why would I ever just like be like, oh, I hate it here? Like, no, because I don't. And I'm like, I'll never put a negative image on something that I choose to do. And that helped me out when I was at my lowest, and continued. I was like, when I'm at the top still, like, I'm going to treat it like I did when I was at the bottom. Like, it's like, this is something I wanted to do. This is something that helped me. So I know, I was like, I had difficulty thinking about the questions because I was panicking but then you had him go first. And I was like, okay. Okay. Because I was like, what? Because they've been asking me this question. Actually, we have mental mindset, and they always ask us, what does wrestling mean to you? Figure out why you're here. And I'm like, to wrestle? I was like, I don't know how else to put it. You know, I get on the mat, I do what I gotta do. And then they're like, what drives you? And I'm like, wrestling.
Like, hey guys, her answer everything is wrestling. Can we do something?
Like, I'm like, I gotta work on it. Maybe if I ask this question later, y'all get an actual solid response. I think I'll watch this review and think about it more too. Now, I've never really deeply kind of tried to think through it like I have today, which is good. I mean, it's also not good, but I mean, it's good that I thought about it today. But I think it's gonna be a question that stays on my mind now, because I'm like, what if I get asked this again? Should not be able to answer this, you know? Yeah. They're gonna be like, what does wrestling mean to you? And I'm gonna be like, wrestling's wrestling.
And they're gonna be like, wah.
Like, okay, like any other details? I mean, wrestling helped me out here and there. She's like my best friend. And they're like, okay. But like, yeah.
Well, I have one last question for all of you. So I appreciate you guys coming. I'm going to thank you for joining anyway, but this will be the last one. I want to be appreciative of all your time. Luis is in finals. James, you're in your finals week too?
I graduate Saturday, so pretty much everything is in and closed. I'll get that new degree, and now onto the job. Got to double down on the job hunt, I guess.
Good luck. Good luck.
I don't know if OPSEC if he wants me to give, but I want to celebrate you, James. He's at University of Michigan, guys, getting his master's. So killing it. And this dude is such a boss. Man, his old lady there getting a master's at the same damn time. What? That's balling. That's ballerific. You know what I mean? He didn't go get him a trophy, just a little cutie. He said, I'm going to get a brainiac, because it it would be really cool if we're both pushing each other. So respect. That's my man right there. That's my man right there. So I want to ask you guys this then. If you could speak to your younger selves on day one of wrestling, what would you say? And James, we're going to start with you. Then we're going to go to Louise, and we're going to finish with Coach. If you could speak to your younger self on day one of wrestling, what would you say? James Quigg.
Stay focused on the love of the game. The more that I stayed in the puzzle and the problem solving and the solving problems in real time over resistance, that's the stuff that has me still in it 31 years later. That's the thing that's pulled me back after injury, after frustration, after heartbreak. Solving those puzzles in live time.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. Louise, hey, that's hard to follow. This dude did it. Hey, you know, Coach was a philosophy major back at West Point. So that's another reason I had to make him at the end, because he might pontificate and then elaborate and then make us all want to conversate as he eloquates. Okay, Louise, I was just trying to stall a little bit for you, but you're going to have to answer the question, girl.
It's okay. It's okay. I got you.
Okay.
I would tell myself what I've always told myself, I guess, to stay humble and stay hungry, honestly. Stay humble and stay hungry, because that's what got me where I am today. I mean, if I wasn't like willing to learn, I didn't get on the mat and after a win act like I knew everything and not listen to what my coaches, because every match I was making mistakes left and right. It was just I was getting away with them because I was strong. Oh. And I was like, look, that gymnastics really kicked in. But like I knew that even when I was like going into these matches, it's like I'm just me, but I have to stay hungry for knowledge. Be willing to change and fix things as your coaches are noticing, because I mean, coaches watching the match. I can't take myself out of my body to watch the match. Like they're seeing something I'm not. That's why when they were yelling stuff, I was like, hit it. In high school, I was like, if they yell something, I just hit it randomly. So like they stopped doing that after a while because they realized that I would just hit it immediately. I was like, you can't hit something that I gotta like figure out. If you see it and I'm like scrambling, I'm gonna suddenly hit that move, and it's like, But that's something like I just think that being humble and being hungry. Humble allowed me to make a lot of friends, get to know a lot of cool people, stay in good relationships with people that were on my team and things like that, because having a big head, like it comes at a price. It really does, especially when it comes to sports in general, like every sport. If you think you're too good to be taught, you're rotten apple, honey. Everybody's got something to learn. And then to stay hungry is to always want to learn. So being humble helped me like know that, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm probably never, but you know, I'm willing to learn though. And I think that younger me really, as much as I would love to be like, have fun and keep up the good work and it'll be worth it in the end, I'm like, I didn't see the end in sight then. I was a freshman. High school seemed like it was going to last forever. So what I would tell myself is stay humble, stay hungry. Like you got to stay in the grind. What he said to, what was it? Love the game.
Yeah.
Got to stay in love with the game.
Oh, yeah, you do. Coach.
Sometimes it don't love you back.
Don't we all know it?
Who you telling?
But it's so funny. My wife has a student right now that's got cauliflower ear. And, but he new to the game. He's been doing 31 years like you. And yeah, it's just, she's just like, he's new and he's already got one. that game did not love him back. And he also maybe didn't think about proper protection.
Yeah, I like what Mr. Quigg put down. He said humble is willingness to learn and hungry is a desire to learn. And I think that's what I was trying to say, but I was trying to find the words. And it was like, I'm describing it to you. I'm like, find it. And it's like, no, you got to be willing to learn. And then you also have to want to learn it too, to retain it. I remember my coach was like, you should get a journal. You should write this down in your notes and think about it later. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And he was like, you should write down, I want to be a state champ every day until it happens. He's like, you got to speak it into existence. You got to do something to keep your mind there, keep it there. I was off season, like state champion. Come on.
Okay.
I was like, come on.
Affirmations. Coach does that. I'm going to steal your thunder, Coach. Coach does that, I think, every morning on his way to school with his daughters. Every morning. I bet if he skips it, he'll get thrown in a chokehold by his daughters. They also did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. So we're naked choke coming from the back seat because Papa trying to skip some stuff just because we running late. Coach, I want to ask you this before we go. If you could speak to your younger self on day one of wrestling, what would you say?
I would tell myself, so two things. Number one, I would tell myself it's okay to fall in love with the sport because I originally started wrestling to get better at football. And so I thought staying in football, kind of like most of the people down here in Texas do, because that was what I thought I wanted more. And I should have just got out of football. I should have never played. When I fell in love with wrestling, I should have just stayed with wrestling and said F football. But I didn't because I thought, oh no, it's going to make me a better football player. And I don't care about football. I didn't really like it that much, truth be told. And so I got into it maybe for the wrong reasons, but it has done so much. Wrestling to me is another opportunity for me to spend time with my daughter, which, besides my relationship with God, is the number one relationship in my life. So that's what I would tell. I tell myself that it's okay to fall in love, earlier. And I would have told myself, like, as a physical thing to do, I would have told myself to journal more and write things down. Not just the techniques, but like how I'm feeling. I try to ask my daughter that a lot because I want her to connect with her feelings in a way that makes it okay to feel bad, but also realize that we're getting through it. You know what I mean? So I need her to be able to do that. So I ask her those things because I know she's not the kind of kid to want to journal on her own. So I make her do like mental journaling every day. Nobody did that with me, and not because I didn't have great coaches, because I did. It just wasn't the thing that they were focusing on at the time. And so I would have done that more when I was a kid. If I had the ability to go backwards and tell myself something, that's what I tell myself. That's what I would tell myself.
Guys, this was fun for me. We blew through time. I have more questions, but this gives me an opportunity to have you all back. I do appreciate y'all's time. Y'all are all busy. I feel real bad because I took my kids to soccer and I came home and I don't have nothing to do for the rest of the night. But y'all are all busy. And maybe now I need to edit and put this out tonight. I was going to wait and do it tomorrow, but y'all motivated me to be a little more productive today. So thank you for y'all's time. Thank you for talking with Donato. And good luck to you all. It's like I said, y'all doing big things right now. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.